beauties, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Egons. I'm a pattern making and sewing instructor. I have an online school where I teach individuals how to create their own patterns and sew very well. So if you want an in-depth tutorial of how to create your own patterns and sew like a professional, I recommend you join my online pattern making and sewing school. Now it's just 12 euros for a monthly subscription, or 14 US dollars, or 8,000 naira. And then once you subscribe, you have access to all the courses in the women's wear subscription plan, from skirts to dresses to tops to pants and even much more. So I'm going to drop the link in the description box below so that you can easily access it and take a look at the courses we've got to offer you. So in today's class, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful halter neck top with a neck band. And as always, please leave me a comment in the comment section so that I'll know what you think about this tutorial. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button so that when I post new videos, you'll be among the first to see it, or you get notified when I post new videos. So now let's head to the table. Let me show you how to create patterns for this beautiful top. So to start creating patterns for this halter neck top, you will need your basic bodice block, the front and the back. So you're going to trace them out on your pattern paper just like this, and then put all your details. And just in case you don't have your bodice block, I already have a tutorial where I showed how to create this block using your own measurement. So I'm going to drop the link in the description box below so that you can go see it and create one for yourself, because we'll be using this very often. So once you've traced them out, the front and the back, the next thing you're going to do would be to take the neck measurements. This neckline here, so you're just going to place your tape on it just like this, and then you measure the back, and also you're going to measure the front as well. So when you take the front measurement and the back measurement, you're going to add them together, because we're going to use that neck circumference to create our neck band. So you take the measurement and set them aside. We're going to do the neck band later. So now we're going to start creating patterns for our halter neck top. So we'll start with the front pattern first. Now the first thing you're going to do would be for you to cut open your dart. This is your waist dart up to the bust point, because we want to close our shoulder dart. We don't need that on the shoulder. So you cut it open nicely. And then you're also going to cut this open as well. Just to the tip there, and then you close it up nicely. We just want to close this shoulder dart. Okay, the next thing is you're going to determine how deep you want your neckline to be, like how low you want it to be. We're going to drop this neckline down by about 3 cm. It could be more, it could be less, depending on you, but I'm going to use 3 cm for mine so that it will not be choky. And then you place a mark there, and then we're going to connect this mark here all the way down to our armhole using our French curve. Okay, something like this. So that means we don't need this part anymore. We can already just cut it off. Okay, now you're going to look for the midpoint here, and then you're going to place a mark there. Okay, the next thing will be for you to draw a straight line from here your bust point to meet this mark here. And the reason why we are doing this is because we want to remove a little bit from here so that there will be no gaping here. So I'm going to take off 1 cm on both sides. Okay, so we are going to cut this part off so that there will be no gaping here, so that this part will relax very well. There will be no opening at all. So you can already cut it now. And then you close it up. Okay, now we're going to draw slash lines here so that we can create our gathers on the neckline. So again, you look for the midpoint on your neckline. So that's my midpoint. So you draw a line, a straight line from the apex here, connecting it to this point here. Just like this. And then you're going to mark on both sides of your line. You're going to mark 1.5 cm. So I have 1.5 cm here. And then on this other side, I have 1.5 cm. So you're going to connect them all the way down to your bust point or your apex. Okay, so once you've done that, we are now going to cut it open. Now let me reduce this paper a little bit. Okay, make sure you don't cut it through. Just stop somewhere there. Okay, now you're going to close up. Oopsie. Okay, well, mine just cut through. It's okay. I'm just going to put my sticky tape just like that. Okay, so now we are going to close this dart, our waist dart again, so that we can spread this out nicely. So once you've done that, you place a paper underneath this and spread it out nicely. Okay, I'm just going to reduce this paper a little bit. Okay, so once you've done this is going to create some gathers on your neckline. But now if you're not happy with the amount of gathers here, you can still put another slash line so that it will be a lot gather. It will be a lot, your gathers will be a lot fuller. So I'm going to place another slash line here. So I'm just going to measure this from here to here now, and then look for the midpoint, or you just measure from your center front line. Maybe you just measure 1.5 cm, and then you're going to connect this point here all the way down to your hemline. And then you're going to connect it in a slanted form. So you can see what I did. cut it, draw your line all the way down to this point in a slanted form. Now you're going to cut it through so that you can also spread it as well. Okay, so now you can spread this out a little bit more. So depending on you, you can spread it out maybe about 2 cm or about 3 cm or 4 cm, depending on how wide you really want it to be. So mine here is going to be about 3 cm. So you use your sticky tape to hold them together in place. So the next thing you're going to do now is you're going to draw your neckline, redraw your neckline very well. So you use your French curve to redraw this very well. So you see, this is my new neckline, just like this. And really, this is it for the front part. So we are going to ignore this dart. So we are going to ignore this dart because it's actually a loose fitting blouse. But if you want the blouse to have a bit more fit or more shape, you can take off this dart value from the side seam. So my dart value here is 3 cm. You can just take it off from here, and then you will have a bit more fitting. They won't be too loose. Okay, that's that. Otherwise, you can leave it the way it is. If you want it really loose fitting, you can leave it the way it is. So now we're going to work on the back side. So for the back side, remember we dropped the front neckline from here about 3 cm. So you're also going to drop it at the back to 3 cm. And then you're going to connect this point to your underarm. Okay, so that means we don't need this part anymore. So I'm also going to cut it off. Now, you're going to look for the midpoint here, and then you put your mark. So you're going to draw a straight line from here where you have your mark to this tip here, the tip of your dart, just like this, and then you take off 1 cm on both sides. Okay, so now you also cut your dart leg all the way down to this tip here. Okay, and then you close this up. So now you can close this very nicely. Okay, you'll notice that it's not equal here. Then you can place a paper there and redraw your armhole. I think I have that in the front part as well. And then redraw your armhole nicely. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. Now the next thing you're going to do is you are going to draw a slash line here. So you look for the midpoints of your neckline and then you mark. Okay, so you draw a line to this point here, to your dart tip here. Connect this mark here just like that, and then you mark 1.5 cm on both sides of your line. 1.5 cm, and then you connect them nicely. Okay, so now we're going to close this waist dart and open this up. Okay, so you place a paper underneath this so that you can spread it out nicely. So now from your center back line, because you want to spread it out more so that you have enough room for gathers, you are just going to mark maybe 1 cm or 1.5 cm, it really depends. You mark and then you draw a line just like this, a slanted line. So you can see my line all the way down, and then okay, and then you spread it out to your desired length or to your desired width, whichever. Again, you have to redraw your neckline. Okay, so this is going to be the gathers for our back neckline. And then, like we did for the front, if you want it a bit fitted, you just take off your dart value. Okay, so that's that. So now the only thing you need to do now is you're just going to place your tracing paper on your front and your back piece, and then you're going to trace it out. And then remember to add your seam allowance, 1.5 cm seam allowance all around, except for the center front. The center back is going to have either a zipper or an opening at the back, so it's going to have a seam allowance, about 1.5 cm seam allowance. But the center front is going to be cut on fold, so there will be no seam allowance added to the center front side. One more thing we need to create patterns for would be our facing, the armhole facing. So to create patterns for that is pretty easy. You're just going to determine how wide you want your facing to be, maybe about 5 cm or thereabout. 5 cm should be okay, or it could be smaller than that, it could be bigger than that, wider than that, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just marking 5 cm. And now you connect all your points together. just like that. So this part from here to here, you are going to place your tracing paper on it and then trace it out. This part here like this. So this is going to be our back armhole facing. You're going to do exactly the same thing for the front side. So now let's create our neckband. So to create patterns for the neckband, you're going to write your front neck measurement, the one you took earlier. Mine is 12 cm. Then you write your back neck circumference. Mine is 8 cm. And then you add the front and back together. The total for me is 20. So you're going to measure yours and do exactly the same thing. So now for the neckband, you're just going to use this total measurement here. Mine is 20 cm. Whatever your measurement is, you're going to draw a straight line like this. So this is 20 cm now, from here to here. So if yours is 20, you use 20. If it's 25, if it's less than, you use whatever value you have. Now you're going to determine how long or how wide you want your neckline to be. I'm using 3 cm, so I'm just going to mark 3 cm. Yours could be wider or it could be smaller. And then from here, so this is going to be our center back. So I can already write the center back. So from here, you're going to measure your back measurement. So this, my back neck measurement is 8 cm. So from your center back line, you're going to measure your back neck measurement. So I mark 8 cm like that. So just take note of this. And then from here, which is going to be your center front, this point here, you're going to take it up about 1 cm or 1.5 cm. So this is 1.5 cm. And then you're going to use your French curve to connect it nicely to this point here in a slight curve. So once you connect it, it then means that we would not need this part anymore. So let me strike it out so you can see. So from here now, you're going to take it up the same width here, or the same length, whichever. This is 3 cm, so I'm going to take it up here, 3 cm. Okay. So once you've done that, you're going to connect this part and this part together in a slight curve. Good. So this part is going to be your center front. So this part that is your center front is going to be cut on fold. So you're not going to add seam allowance to this part, but you're going to add seam allowance 1.5 cm all around. Now take note, we don't need this part anymore. So what you're going to trace out on your tracing paper is just this part like this. Just like that. You see, this is very easy, right? Easy peasy. So I finished tracing out my pattern pieces, and I have 5 pattern pieces in all. Now let me walk you through the pattern pieces. This is my center back piece, and this is going to be cut 2 pieces. Then this is my center front piece. This is going to be cut 1 piece on fold. This is my front armhole facing. This is going to be cut 2 pieces. This is the back armhole facing, and this is going to be cut 2 pieces. While this is the neck band, and this is going to be cut 2 pieces on fold. So these are the 5 pattern pieces we have for this top. Very easy, right? And straightforward. So this will be it for this class. In our next class, I'm going to show you how to make this top. So I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope it was easy for you to understand. Please, if you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down below so that I'll know what you think. If you have questions to ask, you can also ask them. Then if you have any project you really want me to teach, please be sure to drop it in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in my next class. Until then, bye.